Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your boy, The Sean Davey Way Show. Please hit that like and subscribe on the way in. Tap that bell if you would like to be notified of all of our future content. Today, I bring you a surviving on Dwight Howard, who has recently been in the publications for an alleged threesome that he had with the two men that went wrong. Dwight Howard's sexuality has definitely been on the trending list for quite some time. Back in the day, his baby mother, Royce, from the show Basketball Wives, she came forward with some information about him, but stated she signed an NDA, so she really couldn't get into much detail in her first seasons of Basketball Wives. But Dwight's sexuality was definitely one of the questions that were on the table. When Royce came on to Basketball Wives, everyone assumed that she was going to talk about her affair with Dwight. She was not literally dating him, but dating him, meaning he had another woman that was in the forefront, but Royce, at the time a cheerleader, was one of the women that he was creeping around with, and she ended up getting pregnant. I bring up Royce because a lot of people, like myself, did not really know who Dwight was. I had an idea of him. I heard that they called him like Superman, and because he was so big and his arms were so long and whatnot, but I had no idea who he was because I wasn't into sports like that. So watching the Basketball Wives, it definitely educated me a little bit more on who Dwight Howard was. So we will jump into that later on in this video, but let's get into the threesome that went wrong. Former NBA star Dwight Howard has denied essaying a man during a threesome and has asked for the case to be dismissed. According to court documents, Howard, who currently plays for the Taiwan Leopards in Taiwan, met his accuser through Instagram and they started texting each other. The pair messaged for months and the text included sexually explicit content such as photographs and videos before they met up in July 2021. In his lawsuit, the accuser claims he went to Howard's home where the two men began to kiss and remove their clothes. Howard then introduced a person dressed as a woman named Kitty to the accuser and demanded that they have a threesome, it is claimed. The alleged victim said he did not wish to participate, but Howard still attempted to touch his thigh and stroke his privacy through his underwear. When asked to stop by the victim, the basketball star allegedly said he was going to do whatever, and the accuser was going to like it, before proceeding to force the victim to give and receive oral. According to Radar Online, the lawsuit reads, defendant stood up towering over the victim, grabbed the victim by the thighs and forcibly removed his underwear, restrained him and performed non-consensual oral on him. The victim feared imminent bodily harm when he was restrained and forced to remain in place while the defendant continued to SA him. The oral is said to have ended when Howard realized the victim was not enjoying it. The lawsuit accuses Howard of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. The former Los Angeles Laker, who also played for the Houston Rockets and Orlando Magic, has denied any wrongdoing and said all the activity was consensual. Side note, so Dwight's not saying this didn't happen. He's saying it happened, but it was all consensual, meaning that he was up for everything that was going on. He took no issue with it. And my thing is, I'm not going to say that this didn't happen because, again, I was not there. But if Dwight allegedly stopped due to what the victim says, that Dwight stopped when he realized that the victim was not enjoying it. A person that is essaying you does not care. They don't care if you're enjoying it or not. For him to say that Dwight said, I'm going to do what I want to do to you and you're going to like it, then Dwight would not have cared if he wasn't participating or not, for the simple fact is that he was going to do it anyway, you know? So to have stopped because you weren't enjoying it, to me, in my opinion, it is giving more of consent. Because if you aren't consenting to it, then why is he stopping? He's not stopping because you're telling him, don't do it, I don't want to do it, don't touch me. He just simply stopped because it doesn't seem that you were into it. But if you view that as you being essayed, hey, I'm not here to judge anyone, but I'm just saying I'm just a little confused by that, to make it seem that he was so aggressive and hurting you and harming you, and you feared that he was going to hurt you just because he's a tall person. Because towering over you just means that he was standing over you, not he was trying to hurt you, harm you, make it so that you can't leave. But you keep saying he was restraining you. Restraining you with what? By holding you down. The other party, the kitty person, was not involved. They were just present from what it seems. And I just don't understand it. It's a lot of holes that I'm not getting, but let's continue. Again, I'm not here to say that anybody's lying. I'm just saying, based off what I just heard, I'm really confused. But let's keep going. Dwight Howard hurt by gay rumors in 2019. The NBA player previously spoke in 2019 on rumors about his sexuality, saying that it hurt, but added that the experience showed him pure hate towards the LGBTQ people. Dwight's quote, "I saw all the hate, the pure hate, from people that I never met before just pile up everywhere I went against me. And that liberated me because I saw how a lot of people would feel, whether they're gay or they're straight, whether they have issues," he told Fox Sports at the time. Side note, this is definitely why a lot of men do not come out. Your job definitely details your exposure. So with Dwight, he is a basketball player, and there is a lot of toxic masculinity inside of a job like that, being a basketball player. So with Dwight coming out of the closet and stating that, you know what, I am a bisexual male or a gay male, however he wants to identify, he knows that he will be isolated and treated differently just because of the hatred he's gotten in the past. So he's willing to stay in this wannabe closet so that he can protect his image of being able to do certain things. So again, the toxic masculinity with men in sports. So they get dressed in front of each other, they shower in front of each other, etc. And it's easy to get treated differently, to where Dwight came out, to where men wouldn't want to be in the locker room with him, wouldn't want to change in front of him, wouldn't necessarily even want to hang out with him because they don't want the label that he has. But the difference between Dwight and those men is that they are actually heterosexual. Dwight is not. So Dwight to me is weak. And the reason he's weak to me is, if you pay attention earlier, when we were talking about the lawsuit, Dwight never said that the transaction that he had with the victim didn't happen, meaning we were sexual with one another, but this lawsuit is frivolous because it was not in this way. So you are willing to admit that you slept with this man, but you will omit when it comes to you being gay or bisexual. So to me, that's very weak. You can state that you hook up with them because he feels that he hooking up with ladyboys makes him still on the hetero radar. No. Anytime a man does anything with someone that has the same appendage, it doesn't matter to me if they've had surgery, if they have, gotten breast augmentations and stuff like that. If they have, again, the same appendage as you, you are gay. So if a woman is hooking up with a woman, but is more so of a stud, dresses, walks, talks like a man, it doesn't make you hetero because you're dating a stud. No, you are a lesbian. You are gay. And it's no different with a man. If you're dating a man that, again, identifies as a woman, talks like a woman, walks like a woman, dresses like a woman, as long as they have the same appendage as you, you are gay. So if it is not post-op, you're gay. It's that simple. End of story. So to me, Dwight is very weak because he wants to keep this image because I hook up with extremely feminine men or men that cross-dress or pre-op trans and whatnot, that I am still straight. No, you are not. You are definitely a part of the LGBTQ barbecue. Moving right along. Not that I'm defending Dwight throughout this video, but I will say when it comes to him and being guilty of this, where there's smoke, there's fire. This is not the first lawsuit that Dwight has had against him from another male stating that he SA'd them. Let's get into Dwight Howard's ex-boyfriend leaking alleged pics of Kitty, Dwight's trans lover, looks like pastor's wife. Dwight's admission came in response to a lawsuit by Stephen Harper, a gay man who claims that Dwight SA'd him, and during the process burst his Dwight Howard's accuser, Stephen, is speaking out on IG and telling his side of the story, which sounds pretty traumatic. Here's what he says. Stephen Harper's quote, "First and last time I'll ever address this. I would never expose a man or intentionally ruin someone's career, which is why I haven't publicly spoke about this until now. With all due respect, Kitty is an older, unattractive person in their 40s. Hours into me being at Dwight Howard's home, he ambushed me with this person. Dwight never showed me pictures of Kitty nor disclosed their gender. Kitty walked in with a full beard, 2-inch heels, and a 28-piece church wig. Immediately, I was thrown off, uncomfortable, and expressed that I wanted to leave. Shortly after, Dwight forced himself onto me, then demanded that Kitty drop me off instead of calling an Uber to his home. This situation was truly traumatic and has affected me in many ways. Out of fear and intimidation, I did not speak. However, I will not sit back and allow the lies to be told about me. I was not Dwight's first victim, but hopefully, I'm his last." Here's a photo of the person that Stephen claims is Kitty. Media Takeout was not able to confirm whether the person in the image was in fact the same Kitty that was involved with the NBA star. But if that's her, Dwight, come on now. For real? Why she got the same wig as the deaconess at our church, and she's got on the deaconess dress too. This wasn't the first time one of Dwight's gay relationships ended up in a lawsuit. 5 years ago, a gay man named Mason sued Dwight claiming that Dwight SA'd him too. Mason and Dwight ended up settling, and Mason signed a non-disclosure agreement where he agreed to not tell the world about his relationship with the NBA star or any of the alleged instances that occurred during it. Side note, so with the victim, I'm not saying that they have no truth at all to what they are saying. I'm just saying that some things just don't add up. And Dwight has settled with an accuser named Mason years ago. And with the agreement, he was not allowed to speak of what happened between he and Dwight. So that leaves a question for Dwight. So why would you settle with this man if there was no truth to what he was saying at all? Well, again, there could definitely be a lot of truth to what Stephen is claiming against Dwight. I'm not saying he's lying at all whatsoever. I don't know if the details of what happened to him are just a little fuzzy, and whatnot. And he may not be remembering things in kind of chronological order, kind of just remembering them as they happened. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. But Dwight is definitely not off the hook. But let's get into him addressing the allegations of him being gay. Dwight Howard addresses allegations about being gay. His quote, "Y'all are just weird." Dwight Howard got himself in some deep legal trouble, but he may be able to get out of it if he admits he is gay. Shout out to Marca.com. A Georgia man named Stephen Harper, who also goes by the name of Kitty. Side note, I don't know where Marca got that from. Stephen Harper is not Kitty. They're two different people. Stephen Harper filed the lawsuit and alleges that Kitty was supposed to be a part of the alleged threesome. So I don't know where they got that information, but let's keep going. Filed an essay lawsuit against the former NBA star Dwight Howard. The basketball player who currently represents the Leopards, the Chinese T1 League, had to come out and deny allegations against him. However, doing so may have forced him to accept a very public manner that he has non-heterosexual preferences. In the video uploaded himself, Dwight Howard pretty much accepted he consensually got entangled with Harper, but also called out people who are getting in his business. As a public figure, Dwight Howard is in constant danger of having his private life completely exposed. If the public wants to know something about a celebrity's life, the media will make sure they do by any means necessary. Harper's allegations seem to be only the tip of the iceberg, as Dwight Howard has been dropping clues about his sexual preferences for many years. There have always been rumors that Dwight has dated and been involved with transgendered women and men. The video he posted pretty much confirms all the clues that were already there. But there is a good chance Dwight Howard is actually bisexual. After attorney Justin Bailey denied the allegations, Howard said this on Instagram Live. "Y'all can stop with the nonsense and worrying about all this bullcrap. Y'all worried about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in the bedroom is my damn business. That ain't for everybody, and everybody don't need to know. Y'all just weird.
That ain't nobody business where I put my shit at. Y'all just weird. If you want to know what people doing in their bedroom or who they messing with and sleeping with, you are weird. You're the weird one. Oh shoot, y'all heard about that? Dwight, they said Dwight was in a text messaging a guy. Nigga, who cares? Who cares who I was text messaging? You just mad cause I want text messaging. Yo ugly. That's what it is.
Whatever Dwight Howard's sexual preferences may be, the evidence does suggest he may be bisexual. Keep in mind that Dwight has children with different women. He was also married to WNBA player Tia Cooper, with whom he remained married until 2021. Amid all the rumors and controversy over Howard's sexual orientation, this recent video from model Whitney Nicole Ritchie is making people think Dwight was the man involved in this story. But Dwight won the championship and bubbled during the peak of the pandemic. Although he may fit the description, it's still unlikely due to all the restrictions at the time. Side note, so what are we thinking thus far with all that we have learned? Do you think, let me know in the chat right now, do you think he's straight, bisexual, or gay? I would love to hear your thoughts on this situation, but until then, let's keep on pushing. Dwight Howard's quote, "I ain't gotta tell nobody where I put my wood at," Howard said. The 8-time NBA All-Star and league champion with the Los Angeles Lakers is accused in court of essaying another man, with a third man involved also. Howard said that the sex between the men was consensual. Of course, many people online have already started calling Howard gay, despite a 2019 interview in which Howard said he does not identify as gay. Howard has also taken to social media to have some fun with the allegations. And then there is the all-time courtside interview Howard gave while with the Atlanta Hawks, talking about everything starting with the D. Let's drift back into Royce Reed, whom is the baby mother of Dwight Howard. When she initially came on to the Basketball Wives, for the few seasons she was there, she really didn't speak much of Dwight, although it's the whole premise of the show. She more so had a lot of beef for like Evelyn, stuff like that. So it was focused more on that and other people she was seeing and dating than being focused on her relationship with Dwight. And I don't know when this non-disclosure that they had ended, but when it did, Royce came forward with some shocking allegations about Dwight, calling him evil, stating inappropriate behavior with minors, and also that he wanted to sign the NDA in the first place is because she was a secret. She was supposed to be a part of his poly relationships that he had, and she wasn't supposed to say anything about it. That's why her getting pregnant is really what made people know that they were kind of really involved at all, because she was a secret. So let's get into all of the stuff Royce Reed has had to say about Dwight Howard. Royce Reed's revelations, unmasking Dwight Howard's personal life. Former partner Royce Reed has made allegations against NBA player Dwight Howard, claiming he is an evil person. Reed accused Howard of inappropriate behavior with a minor and revealed that he asked her to sign a non-disclosure agreement for his polyamorous relationships. Royce Reed, who had remained silent for over a year regarding a child neglect charge, decided to speak out after seeing a video in which Howard was motivating his children. Reed shares a 15-year-old son, Braylon, with Howard, who had been embroiled in an incident involving alleged inappropriate behavior with a minor in 2021. In an emotional outburst in the Shade Room's comment section, Royce Reed launched a scathing attack on Dwight Howard. She described the former NBA player as an evil person and claimed that he told a 12-year-old that he was gay for not watching explicit material. Dwight Howard has fathered 5 children, 3 sons and 2 daughters, with 5 different women. His eldest son, Braylon, was born on November 18, 2007, to Royce Reed, a former Orlando Magic cheerleader. Howard's eldest daughter, Layla, was born in October 2010, and her mother is Tiffany Render. In December of the same year, Jade Howard was born to Canadian fitness model Hope Alexa. Dwight's second son, known as Dwight III, or Trey, was born on June 13, 2013, to a woman named Christine Vest. His youngest child, David, was born on December 15, 2013, to a real estate agent named Melissa Rios, who tragically passed away due to an epileptic seizure in 2020. Royce Reed went on to reveal the former NBA champion had asked her to sign an NDA after requesting her take on the role of matriarch in his polyamorous relationships. Furthermore, the former Orlando Magic cheerleader alleged Howard paid individuals to initiate a smear campaign against his children's mother. Finally, she contended that the incident involving Braylon and a minor occurred under Howard's supervision, and adding that the child neglect charge stemmed from Braylon's inappropriate behavior. Side note, so let's break this down real quick. Royce Reed in 2021 was charged with a child neglect charge. That charge was because her son, Braylon, that she shares with Dwight Howard, was caught doing something inappropriate with another teenager at the time, which it was not good. It was very bad. So the parents of that said teenager called the police on Braylon. When the police were called at the time, Braylon was in the custody of his mother. So that is why she was charged with the charge. But Royce is stating that what took place that day actually happened at Dwight's house. So whatever Braylon did to this teenager happened in his father's care and then was dropped off to me after, and then the police were called after the information had came out about what allegedly partook. So Dwight let the police go to Royce's house and let Royce get charged with this, knowing that it happened under his watch, okay? So that is why Royce was silent. She was silent because she wasn't really allowed to say anything with her NDA against Dwight. So I feel like she went completely against the NDA because of what happened with her son. So people were side-eyeing Royce like, well, what you over there doing? Why are you letting your son do this? Where did he learn that? And, dot this and dot that. So she was quiet because there's not much that she could say. So I guess she just had enough and finally was just like, look, this is what happened. So let's get more into what occurred. Who is Dwight Howard baby mama Royce Reed? Royce Reed is known as one of Dwight Howard's 5 baby mamas. Their relationship initially gained public attention in July when Reed publicly referred to Howard as evil and made some serious allegations against the former NBA player. Prior to gaining fame as a reality TV personality, Reed worked as a cheerleader for both the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. It was during this time that she met Howard, with whom she shares a son named Braylon, born on November 18, 2007. Reed claimed that Howard allegedly gained custody of one of his children while he was out to embark on a basketball stint in Taiwan. Subsequently, the child was placed under the care of Howard's parents. Reed also disclosed that she was purportedly asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement to assume the role of matriarch in Howard's polyamorous relationship. Moreover, Reed expressed concerns that her son Braylon's behavior was influenced by Howard. Previously, Braylon was accused of engaging in inappropriate conduct with another teenager. Reed implied that the incident occurred under Howard's supervision, further contributing to the public scrutiny surrounding their relationship. 100% believe that Royce is telling the truth, and here's why. Royce is not denying that what happened with her son and the teenager happened. She's simply stating that it did not happen underneath her supervision. So she had no idea that her son was doing this or that her son was capable of this behavior, but it didn't happen under her roof. So it happened with his father, and that's why she feels, because of certain things and inappropriate things that she's seen Dwight do, allegedly, with minors, that behavior came from his father. So she's stating this energy of my son doing this is stated because of his dad. You know, it's happening underneath his roof. He's rubbing off on him. He's the influence behind him doing inappropriate things. You know, his dad lives a polyamorous lifestyle, so it's all type of different weird people over there. Sometimes they're this, sometimes they're that, sometimes it's a woman, sometimes it's a man, you know, and who knows what inappropriate activity is actually going on or what he's allowing, you know, Braylon to do while he is there. As his mother, I would never allow my son to do anything in this regard. But his father does these type of things, so he could have easily picked this behavior up from his dad, and it's also where it happened, so it gives her even more reason, you know, to feel like this is where this behavior started. So again, Royce never said it didn't happen. She said it did, and it's being taken care of, but it didn't happen because of me. You know, I'm looking at my son now with a whole new set of eyes, you know, and whatnot. I have a whole new awareness, you know, being around him now, knowing what he's capable of. So she's taking accountability, and I can appreciate that with Royce, but Dwight has taken no accountability. He's made it seem as if this is all Royce's fault. That's why the police went over there, because she did it, is how he's made it look, instead of being a parent and trying to help your son recover and get him therapy and whatnot to try to figure out what is going on in his head. Dwight wants no parts. So I love you all. This is part 1. I hope you enjoyed. We will be back with the rest of the story of Braylon. Please hit that like. Please subscribe. Until the next video, I love you all. Bye.